Bitcoin, should you be nervous yet? No. And I'm going to show you why, as well as when to get nervous using Ichimoku. This is a follow-up to my video from yesterday where I talked about how you can use Ichimoku and two of its components to determine when the trend has changed and hopefully avoid false breakouts. So right now, by Ichimoku standards, this is very bullish. Price is very, very much above the cloud, and momentum, the Chikou, is also very much above the cloud. There's no weakness in this yet on the daily, according to Ichimoku. I'm going to show you where that changes, though. And we're going to look back at the 2017 bull run as an example. So way back we go. Let's just come up to here. Okay. So if you watched my video before, and you should if you haven't before, whenever price gets on the bearish side of the cloud, we don't necessarily want to say that it's bearish yet. We want to wait until both price and momentum are on the other side of the cloud. This is our confirmation that the trend has changed. So if we use the bar replay feature to go through and show us what happened, let's look and see when that situation actually happened. So even though traders may be getting nervous, price is still, according to Ichimoku, bullish until this point right here. And at this point, you have price getting on this side of the cloud, but momentum is not quite to that side of the cloud just yet. So we can't say that it's bearish yet, and we'd be okay holding. And we have a little bit of a reprieve in price action. But remember, we're watching for momentum here. So at this point, at about 10,000 in January of 2018, was when traders should have started getting nervous that this bullish trend is over. Because not only do you have price on this side of the cloud, but you also have your momentum on the bearish side of the cloud as well. And from this point on, well, Bitcoin was slow, but it never really recovered. It never recovered its gains. And it went down into a couple of situations later. So let's look at this right here. So here's the situation where some traders may have been trying to go bullish on Bitcoin. Because if you notice, price is above the cloud, and you also have momentum coming out of the cloud. According to the rules, this means that the trend is bullish. But in technical analysis, nothing is ever 100%. And so what a trader might want to do to confirm is try to play price action. Let's pretend that we don't see Ichimoku now. Let's not get too confused by it. If you were trying to play this bullish, then perhaps you want to wait for an entry above these highs, or even an entry above these highs right here, this price action, however you want to do it. But that will help you filter out potential false breakouts. Like so. And there's another interesting situation that happens in the future. Right about here. Here we have where price has come outside of the cloud, but momentum never quite gets out. In fact, it's totally contained within the cloud. So this would have helped people avoid pretty big drawdown. And something I've said for years for people that once Bitcoin goes through its bull runs and they're looking to re-enter, I say to them, you're not going to miss the bull run. A lot of people are afraid they're going to miss it. Well, you really just have to watch for what I talked about in the first video to happen. And that is the situation where price gets above the cloud at the same time as momentum. Exactly what I've been talking about. And so all this time that you've been watching the daily, not entering unless you have that confirmation from Ichimoku, you're keeping yourself out of trouble. And so for a very long time, if you're patient, you can wait for that Ichimoku price action to confirm when you should re-enter. And wouldn't you have loved to have gotten Bitcoin down around the 3,000 range? Seems like a really good idea right now. But patience would have paid off, because eventually you would have ended up with a situation where you have both price and momentum outside the cloud at the same time. That would have been our Ichimoku confirmation. Play a break of the most recent highs, because it's a pretty obvious consolidation range. And now you're in a good situation to capture some gains. Again, we're waiting for price to get on the other side of the cloud. Are we going to? Are we going to? Nope. As you see in this case right here, price got on the other side of the cloud, but momentum did not. And so we're able to keep these gains. Now here, the situation is that price and momentum are outside the cloud. And so we would have been able to capture a nice profit from here to about right here. And that would have been the bull trend somewhere in 2019. So are we going to miss anything by getting out of Bitcoin when it's below the cloud? Let's see. No. It helped us avoid that drawdown. When should we re-enter? Let's watch. Should we re-enter here? Let's assume that we do. If we had entered there and gotten out here, it would have been a small loss. Oh well. But we would have avoided this big down move here in the coronavirus crash. When should we have re-entered Bitcoin? When should we have gone bullish on Bitcoin? We should have gone bullish on Bitcoin at around 8,800. How well would that have done us? Are we going to stay above the cloud? Momentum did not get out. How about this test? Momentum, barely got out right there. But once again, when we crossed over here at around the 12,000 range, that was our sign to get in. And we could have very easily captured the run. So what I try to emphasize to people is you're not going to miss a big bullish run if you just follow the Ichimoku cloud with price action and momentum on the correct side of it. So, can we use this in other instruments? Well, what about Tesla? How did Tesla's bull run form? We've been patient and waited for a situation like in November, we could have captured it right there. The same thing happened in April. What about the big bull run? What about when price changed? Well, I found this very interesting here. When price got above the cloud here back in 2019, momentum was still contained all the way up till about right here. So if you'd waited until this point here, for this consolidation to be broken, now you have that situation there with momentum finally getting out. This breakout on earnings in October was the signal people should have been looking for, because at that point you had the extra confirmation. So, should we be nervous about Bitcoin now? I don't think so. I think that if you are patient and you wait for price to reveal itself, wait for it to get all the way back to the cloud or below it, that can keep you pretty safe. So, hope this helps people to better understand and use Ichimoku. I appreciate all the positive feedback I've been getting from people. Hope to make more videos about it in the near future. Stay tuned.